Okay, so that last example was an example of a special triangle, so that was fantastic. So see, I brought back the special triangles. This next example is not a special triangle example, which means I'm going to need my calculator. So I'm going to start with minus 6 cos 15t plus 18 is equal to 20. I get minus 6 cos 15t is equal to 2. So cos 15t is negative a third. All of a sudden I know right now looking at the negative a third, that's not a special triangle, so I'm going to need my calculator. I can do it two different ways. I can either punch cos 15t into y1 and negative a third into y2 and find where they intersect, or I can um, use my CAS rule and understand that cos is negative in quadrants 2 and 3 and do the question exactly that way. In either case, my answer comes out to 7:18 a.m. and 4:42 p.m. So between these two times, that's when the temperature is warmer than 20 degrees Celsius. In the next question, the sketch below talks about the depth, y, at a time t during one day, which is 24 hours. So look at the scale at the bottom. Notice that it says up to 24. It says here, write down the maximum and minimum depths of the water. So the maximum, the highest that it goes, looking at the diagram, is 14 meters. And the minimum, or the lowest that it goes, is 6 meters. And I simply look here and here. So no problems. Next, it then says, the depth of the water in the harbor is given by the following equation, where t is the time and the number of hours after midnight. Again, there's that after midnight. It says determine the values of a and b. And what do the values represent? Well, a is the principal axis. So a is equal to 14 plus 6, the maximum plus the minimum divided by 2, which is 10. So that means my principal axis is 10. Right here. B is the period. So the period, so for the length for one cycle, look here, from here to here is 12. So 360 divided by 12 is 30. So my equation is y is equal to 10 plus 4 sine 30t. It then says calculate the depth of the water when time is equal to 2. Well, not only can I see it here approximately on my diagram, I can get it later on. Sorry about that. I think I was saying that I can calculate it, or I can look at my graph and get a good estimate of it. So if I estimate, it's a little bit above 13 and less than 14, so I'm going to guess 13.5. That's my guess. I think it's a pretty good one, but I'm actually going to calculate it now. So y is equal to 10 plus 4 sine 30 times 2 is 60. 10 plus 4 sine 60. If I do that in my calculator, I'd get out 13.5 meters. At 9 p.m., that means that t is equal to 21. So y is equal to 10 plus 4 sine 30 times 21. I go to my calculator, and out comes 6 meters. This question continues on the next page. So it says here the harbor gates are closed when the depth of the water is less than 7 meters. An alarm rings when the gates are opened and closed. So how many times does the alarm sound during the day? So if I go back to my graph, and I'm going to use a different color, I'm going to use blue. At 7 meters, I want to know how many times does it ring? Well, it rings once, twice, 3 times, and 4 times. It says find the value of t when the alarm sounds first. So if I look at my graph, I want to find this. That's what I want to find. So notice that it's around 7, more than 7, less than 8. So that's what I want to try and find. So I want to find when 10 plus 4 sine 30t is equal to 7. I can go to my calculator and put this into y1 and this into y2 and solve. And out comes t is equal to 7.61. It then says use a graph to find the length of time during the day when the harbor gates are closed. Give your answer to the nearest hour. Well, I know that the harbor gate closes at 7.61. So it closes at 7.61. I gotta find out when it opens. So basically, I have to find out this time. So I go back to my calculator, and I find out the next intersection point. When I do, I find out that the next intersection point, or when it opens at 10.38. Basically, the length of time that it's closed looking at my graph is from here to here, 7.61 to 10.38. Because the graph is 6, it's the exact same for this one here. So the length of time that the gate is closed is, whoops, sorry about that, 2 times 10.38 minus 7.61, which is equal to 5.54. Because it asks to the nearest hour, that's approximately 6 hours. Last question of the day. Also, pretty really good example of what we're looking at and the depth at which I need you to work at. It says the population, again in thousands, of a species of butterfly in a nature sanctuary is modeled by the following function. Notice that it's in radians from 0 to 12, where t is weeks after scientists first start making the population estimates. What is the initial population? Initial means time is 0, so I want the population at 0. That's 3 plus 2 sine at 0. Sine at 0 is 0, so that's 3 plus 0, which is 3. Notice that the initial population is 3,000. It says what are the largest and smallest populations? Well, again, that's the maximum and the minimum. The maximum and the minimum. The principal axis is 3, the amplitude is 2, therefore the maximum is 3 plus 2, which is 5. So the max population is 5,000, and 3 minus 2 is 1, so the minimum population is 1,000. Now, C. This is the part where I expect you to do a little bit more thinking. When does the population first reach 4,000? So basically, I'm setting the equation 3 plus 2 sine 3 pi t over 8 equal to 4. Not 4,000, 4, because everything is in thousands. I want to isolate sine theta. So I get 2 sine 3 pi t over 8 is equal to 1. Sine 3 pi t over 8 is equal to a half. Boom, that's a special triangle. So I need to know when this happens. So when is sine whatever, I can call this theta if I want to think about it that way. When is sine theta equal to a half? This is 1, this is 2. That means this is root 3, which means that this is pi over 6. So when is that theta? 3 pi t over 8 equal to pi over 6. Notice that it's the first time it reaches, not all of the times, otherwise I would continue to have to add 2 pi to it and find all the other options. I can reduce, cancel out the pi's. I'm left with 3t over 8 is equal to 6, 1 over 6, sorry. That means 3t is equal to 8 over 6, and t is equal to 8 over 18, where t is 4/9 of a week. That's it for today. I hope that the note went well. Homework is posted on Blackboard. If there's anything that you need, please drop me an email. The review for the test is also posted, and answers will be posted as soon as possible. Take care, everyone. See you soon.